for tuning in. My name's Keisha. I'm the founder of Upgraded Mindsets and the host of the Empowering Real Talk podcast. Since you are tuning in, let me tell you, expect unfiltered dialogues on relevant topics designed to help unlock effective personal, professional, and entrepreneurial growth. The Empowering Real Talk podcast will encourage you to implement any necessary steps to activate and achieve greater success on any and every level. Listen, in order for us to grow individually and as a whole, these conversations are necessary. I appreciate your support. Let's get it. What up, y'all? Welcome back to Empowering Real Talk. It is your girl, Coach K Transforms. You know I'm back with another dope session. And if you're watching on YouTube, then you see I'm not here by myself. Say hello to my lovely co-host, lady. What's going on, baby?
Hey guys, I'm good. How are you doing today?
Thank you for coming back to Empowering Real Talk. Y'all know Lady is my co-host from time to time. So, we ain't gonna do no long introduction. She does that on every episode. So we're gonna switch it up this time. And of course, all her bio details will be in the podcast notes. So with that being said, me and you was having a conversation and we said we needed to get into this, right? Because of course, empowering real talk means uncomfortable conversations, means conversations that are necessary. And I definitely feel like this conversation is super necessary. So please let us know what we're going to be talking about today, sis.
So, we're going to talk about how do you handle or navigate through estranged friendships, because sometimes people like to spin the block, people pop back up. Sometimes when you're on a journey, you kind of reflect on different relationships and you kind of think, oh, okay, maybe this could have been different, or maybe we could have salvaged that relationship or that friendship.
Right.
We could have worked it out. But sometimes, it can go different ways.
Absolutely. I love that we're going to talk about this because if anyone has been following me on my journey, then I talk about this kind of stuff because these are experiences that I have gone through or continue to go through up until this point. So just to give a little backstory for me when it comes to friendships, I have friendships that I had for over 3 decades that are no longer in existence. I don't have beef behind that. I still love the people that I am no longer aligned with, but I had to really come to the understanding that it was a part of my journey. Now, I say my journey because it's my experience, right? But talking about friendship as a whole, we are really in a season of self-discovery right now, sis. Would you agree with that?
I agree.
Yeah, we're definitely in a season of self-discovery, and self-discovery is going to lead you to really discovering who you supposed to be with, who you supposed to be around, what engagement you supposed to be giving to certain people. And I think that sometimes, well, I think in the past we have ignored a lot of those things. We ignore them because of the length of time we might have known somebody. We ignore it because we feel like that's a sense of loyalty. You know what I'm saying? And I think that a lot of us struggle because of that. What you think?
No, there's truth behind that.
Yeah.
I was speaking about this with someone who wasn't a strange friend.
Mm-hmm.
And there's about a length of history behind that. But coming forward, we were having the conversation, and I was expressing to her about something I had to deal with around loyalty. I had to really examine that when I started to, disconnect from people from my past and certain friendships fell apart. I had to look at the loyalty piece in it, and I had to say, why do I still feel like I owe this loyalty to these people when they don't have no loyalty to me, and their loyalty probably left a long time ago when we were in the so-called friendship. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like, why do we feel we got to have loyalty to people? And understanding that doesn't mean you're going to go and be telling all their business now that y'all not talking. It doesn't mean you're going to go, doing things to them. Yeah, you're not going to do all of that. It just means I don't have to keep this loyalty energy to you. I can cut the cord where No, I don't owe you no loyalty. I don't gotta be loyal to you for what? I don't even talk to you no more. I'm not gonna go around telling your business and saying things about you, but
Right.
I don't gotta be loyal to you. Not even in my mind, not even in my spirit. I don't gotta keep that energy. I can really cut that cord and say, I owe you nothing. You don't
And
owe me nothing. You know what I mean?
absolutely. And the thing even with the word loyalty, right? Because
Yes.
all being on this personal growth journey that I've been on,
Mhm.
a lot of people misuse the word loyalty,
Yes,
right?
they do.
So, loyalty to me and loyalty to you, I know can means that even though we are no longer in the same spaces, we're no longer aligned and in tune with each other, that doesn't mean that I'm not loyal to the friendship that we did have. It doesn't mean that I'm not loyal to the secrets that we have had amongst each other. You
Mhm.
know, it doesn't mean that somebody could come to me and badmouth you and I'm
Mhm.
going to allow it, because loyalty to me is just that. Oh, you can't come and talk bad about nobody to me. You know what I'm saying? Especially nobody that you used to see me with. Don't come asking me questions, asking me about this person when you know you don't see me with them anymore. But
Mhm.
also don't come telling me about
Mhm.
circumstances and situations thinking that you're going to get a rise and get the business, because that's
Right.
not what's going to
Right.
happen. You
Right.
know, I have love for anybody that I have ever crossed paths with. But I understand now the higher purpose of having to leave people, places, and things behind. So loyalty
Absolutely.
to me means being able to still take those secrets to the grave,
Right.
and not throwing people under the bus, whether we cool or we not cool.
Right.
Loyalty to me is not still enduring bullshit from you.
Mhm.
Loyalty from me is not holding you accountable, and just saying, "Oh, you know how they are, that's my girl." But, no, if your girl out of pocket, your girl out of pocket. If your homie out of line, your homie out of line.
Mhm. Mhm.
And that
Right.
twisted sense of loyalty to me is, I feel like, a lot of times where people struggle.
Yes, they do. Absolutely. And as you over here talking, I'm laughing in my head because I'm like, listen, in these conversations, we got to be real and keep it transparent.
Absolutely.
For me,
Oh,
no, there are some people where no, I'm not gonna put you under the bus. I'm gonna drive the bus and hit you myself. I'm gonna just be honest. Because listen, because even with loyalty, we also have this mindset of conditioning,
mhm,
right? Where it's I gotta always be nice to you when you did something wrong to me. I gotta always treat you with kindness when you was mean or you did all these things to me. I gotta always have a kumbaya with people who did things to me that were hurtful, harmful. You know what I mean? We gotta always we're programming conditioned to say, oh, it's always supposed to be peace and love, peace and love. I always tell
absolutely.
people anywhere on any platform, I'm balanced.
Hey, and is.
I don't do all the nice. I'm nice to you if you're nice to me. I'm kind to you if you're kind to me. I'm loving if you're loving to me. You know what I mean? I'm good to you if you're good to me. And even if I was good to you and you weren't good to me, I am your karma, baby. I believe in karma. And your karma can come back good or it can come back wrong. It depends on you, how you put it out into the universe. But karma got everybody's address.
And
So it's up to you how you want that to play out. What karma do you want to show up?
yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And that's that freedom right there. That's that part of that mental freedom because in conditioning, you don't believe in karma. You
Right.
don't look at it like that. Because if you start talking about karma, people start saying, "Oh, that's a superstition," and "Oh, that's this and that." No, no, no. It is what it is when you
Yeah.
understand it. You get what I'm saying? And there are some people, honestly, I say this openly. There are some people where karma needs to show up for you because you know what and you didn't correct it. You know what I mean? Because when other people are moved on from everything they did to you, they don't care.
Yeah.
And yeah, you move on. It's like you get over it after a while. You heal from it after a while. But at the end of the day, it's like that ain't going left like that. It's not, so for me, I had to learn through my journey was take my hand back because when my hand started reaching, I know me.
Yeah.
So it's like I started understanding, what that was. So I said, you know what? their karma will show up for them eventually. And however it plays out, I don't feel bad. And that's another part of that. We got to stop feeling bad for things that people did. No, I don't feel bad. You warranted that. You
Yeah.
warranted that to show up like that for you because you did not correct it. What did you do? What was your hand
Where was your hand?
in the situation? How were you acting towards the person? How were you treating people? And when you just choose to keep treating people like shit,
Yeah.
shit's coming back to you.
Oh, times 10, baby.
That's
Times
just what it
10.
is.
It
That's
goes
just
back
how
to
that
like I
goes.
tell my mom them, you know how when we was so like,
Yeah.
"Girl, your kids gonna be 10 times worse than you was."
Yeah. Yep.
Hey, that's that same mindset, that same level of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to understand that this is
Yes.
all it's going to come back. Whether it come
Absolutely.
back the same way, whether it come back
Absolutely.
a completely different way, baby, it's
Yep.
coming back.
That's
It's
true.
coming back. And then
That's
you're gonna
true.
be asking yourself, why? Why did this happen? You
Yep.
know why, but you're gonna play the role.
Absolutely.
Like,
Yep.
oh my God, I can't believe this. I
Yep.
can't believe this happened. You do. You know exactly.
Yeah. You want to be the victim, but you really was the evil villain.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I love that saying, it's like a joke. I saw it on TikTok probably the first time, and the woman was kind of saying, hey, I may be a villain in your story, but you a clown in mine. You know what I'm saying?
I definitely seen that.
Like, and,
I
and even learning
yeah.
what villain is, it's not always bad, but there are different type of villains. And sometimes you gotta play that villain part because people need to understand. Don't play with me. Don't think you're gonna keep doing stuff to me and I'm not gonna say anything. Don't think you keep just being who you are.
Because hey, here's my take on that,
Right.
right? I'm not the bigger person.
That part.
Okay. I'm not the bigger person. And I'm not the bigger person because
Yes.
in my face, I fought to become the person that has no
Yes.
problem calling people out. I'm
Yes.
not calling people out to be messy. I'm not
Yep.
calling people out to be nasty. I'm calling
Absolutely.
people out because that is my truth and that is a part
Yes.
of my
That part.
spiritual, mental, physical,
Yeah.
emotional, financial journey because it's a holistic journey that I'm on. So that
Absolutely.
involves me saying, hey, you don't just talk to me like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, let's talk about why you feel that you could talk to me like that. I'm down for the conversations. I am down for uncomfortable conversations. But what I'm not is for somebody to be like, oh, you know how they are. Just let it be. And I'm not. I'm not gonna let nothing be. Are there things that I walk away from? Yes, there are
Right.
definitely things that don't
Yeah.
deserve my energy, my time, and my space. But
Absolutely.
baby, you're not gonna play in my face like that. You're not
Mhm.
gonna play in my face. That's just
Absolutely.
that's just the bottom line to that.
Yeah. We're
You
not
know,
doing Michelle Obama.
hey, and baby,
they,
I'm here. I'm here.
they go low, you go high. Nope, they go low, I'm going
Low.
ahead.
You know low.
I'm going
But
lower.
it's low the for a resolution,
Absolutely.
because the one
Yep.
thing about it, I like to have the conversations to resolve things. And if
Yes.
we have to to agree to disagree, we're still resolving it because we're resolving it by agreeing to disagree. You
Absolutely.
know, just
Yep.
like I have had conversations when it comes to loyalty and friendships, like people feel like, oh, because it's a friendship, you supposed to
Mhm.
accept and allow whatever. But that's why we're where we're at as a culture, as a community, because of that twisted sense. Man,
Absolutely.
listen, y'all. I have had dozens, dozens, and honestly, at this point, I could probably get into the hundreds of conversations with women who are struggling because their friends are not where they're at. They want to grow. Their friends don't want to grow. And they're stuck between a rock and a hard place because they don't want to feel like they're being disloyal by saying, hey, either you gonna jump on with me so we can go this growth journey together,
Mm.
or I gotta leave you behind. There's so many women that struggle with that. There's so many women that struggle with not doing what they wanted to do in life. And I'ma be so real with y'all. I was one of them. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But I'm accountable for that. I was one of those who, if my friends couldn't do it, I wasn't doing it. Right. And this involves taking trips. This involves, like, going places, this, that, the other, if they couldn't do it, I wasn't doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But baby, when I tell you I travels by myself sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
I don't have no problem with that.
Absolutely.
It's not you being disloyal because your friends aren't able to do it with you.
Right.
It's you
Absolutely.
still living your best life,
Mm-hmm.
and if your friendships become estranged because you are starting to do things without them, hey, y'all better start evaluating them friendships,
Absolutely.
because it might be something that is no longer aligned with you. That doesn't mean that y'all gotta argue, fuss, fight, it's beef. It just means you outgrow each other. It's 2024, y'all. Remember how I said earlier in the episode that this is the year of self-discovery and really figuring out who we are? That's exactly what it is. And who you are might not be the person that you was 5 years ago. And
Mm-hmm.
y'all gotta be okay with that.
Oh my goodness, you said that because I've been having this conversation, I'm not going too deep with it, out of respect for the other person, but just in my own truth, I have had an estranged friendship show up. And not that it's been showing up off and on throughout the years, but I wasn't ready to open myself up to it. You know what I mean? I was still in a place of looking at, listen, I done moved on. You just stay over there because I'm not trying to deal with none of that. You know what I mean? But, you know, after just kind of getting a little frustrated with it, being transparent, and I told them this, I was very frustrated with it because I was like, what do you want? Why do you keep showing up? Like, I was very honest with them face to face.
Yeah.
And I said, I sat with it. We laughed about it, but I was just telling them my truth of how I felt, and then I said eventually, okay, just sitting with it and, just having a conversation. It was like, you know what? The only way you're going to know is by talking to the person,
Yeah.
like really asking them that challenging question. So one day I asked them, I said, what is it that and why have you continued to reach out to me? You know what I mean? When I'm not the one reaching out to you, it's like, why have you been doing that? And, they gave me their response and I had to respect it, what it was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I felt like they really couldn't tell me at that moment what it
Mm.
was, how deep it was,
Right.
Um, so slowly opening up, conversation, talking, and just being in this different place, we finally decided, hey, let's see, where this may potentially go now. But I had to say that with them understanding I'm not who I used to be. And it's like I had to keep guiding them back to,
Man.
we can't, for me, it's like I can't do past tense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it's meant for us to rebuild, that's what we're rebuilding, something new, not something old. We're not rebuilding off of
Yes.
anything old because
Yes.
you and me have evolved in different ways. I'm not who I was 15, 20 years ago.
Yes.
You're not who you were 15, 20 years ago. We are both evolved versions of us, no matter what that evolution looks like. We are not the same women.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So I had to help them understand either you can come up to where I'm at, and what I mean come up to where I'm at, meaning you are willing to accept this new evolved version of me and get
Yes.
to know me, or we're not going to be able to have a new type of friendship
Nah.
because I come with a lot of different sets of rules and boundaries for myself.
Yeah.
And we got to be able to respect that both ways. Like, you may have boundaries, I got to respect it. You got to respect my boundaries. Honesty, my top three with any friendship on any level is, yes, part of it is loyalty, but I have a new perspective around loyalty now.
Absolutely.
Trust is another one, and honesty. If you can't be honest with me, and being honest with me only happens when you're able to be honest with yourself. So I need to know, for me, it's like I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna watch.
Yeah.
Because I'm not just gonna easily just say, oh, okay, okay. And I'm not watching you in a negative way. I'm just watching you because it's a protector for me.
It is a
It's for me
protect.
to say, are you going to continue to show me something different about you? well, you're gonna show me something old, because soon as something old shows up, baby, when I shut that door this time, you might as well just lose my number. You
Mhm.
might as well act like I don't exist, because no, it's not. I gave you the chance to show me a new version of yourself, an evolved version of yourself.
Yeah.
And obviously, you're not in your evolution, because I'm still seeing old things. I'm still seeing old behaviors. I'm not doing that, because that's not my energy. That's not my level. That's not where I'm at. I'm not doing it. I've done too much work on me
On me,
to
period.
allow the you to come back into my life
Mm.
and think that I'm going to come back to where you used to see me at. No, she no longer exists. And I even came to this deeper revelation recently, and I said in another conversation, I'm not that old friend. I cannot be that old friend to you anymore. I can be a new friend to you. If
Yeah.
anything, I can be a better friend, because I've been on a journey.
Yes.
I've been on my healing journey. I've been on my me journey. So now I've learned how to be a friend to myself.
Mm.
Because when we talk about friendship, sometimes people don't even know what that looks like. You don't even know what being a friend is. And how can you be any good of a friend to somebody else if you're not good to you?
Listen.
So I had to tell her that I'm not that old friend.
Yeah.
I could be your new friend,
Yeah.
only if you want to get to know her. But if you don't want to get to know her, let's stop right here.
Yeah.
Because that old me, I hear you when you keep saying, you telling people, oh, we've been friends for over 20 plus years, and da da da. And yes, we had our ins and outs and ups and downs. And yes, we stopped talking. I'm not knocking that.
Yeah.
But what I am looking at is, I'm not her. You're not getting that version of her back. She's not coming back.
Mm.
You got to come up to where I'm at now. So I had to be honest, because if I'm not honest, I don't even want to do the friendship. I don't want to try it. I don't want to explore it. I don't want to do nothing. You get what I'm saying? So there's a lot of conversations we're still having to this day.
Right.
We got together a couple of weekends. That's why I said this weekend I need to relax, because
Right.
I've been outside the last 2 weekends.
Mhm.
But sometimes you got to take a break from what's
Yeah,
going on in life.
for sure.
But having these honest conversations are important. And if you can't have them and be honest and transparent, then what are y'all doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing? Because we got to be able to have hard talks. If we can't have hard talks and be like, hey, wait a minute,
Yeah.
correct that.
Yes.
Correct it, and correct it now. No, I don't look for the apologies. Apologies for me is change behavior. So when you tell me I'm sorry, when you say I apologize, I'm going to watch your behavior after. I'm looking at your actions. What have you changed? Because if you're going to apologize to me and you still doing the same thing, your apology is irrelevant.
Null and void. It's null
Is yeah, and
void.
at that point, I got to say to me, disconnect.
Yep.
I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
So,
I love that
I
you even talked about, and I'm sorry to interrupt, but like I love that you even talked about the communication piece of it, right?
Mhm.
Because we have this stigma implanted that
Mhm.
because somebody is friends, we don't need to tell them about themselves.
Huh?
You know what I'm saying? Like an effective communication, especially if you're wanting to mend that friendship, if you're wanting to continue with that friendship, it's
Yeah.
going to involve you having those uncomfortable
Yeah.
conversations. It's going to
Absolutely.
involve you expressing your feelings. Hey, you need to tell them how you're feeling about this. Listen, I don't like how you've been moving in this
Mhm.
area. I don't like how things have been going for us when it comes to this. We
Yeah.
need to sit down and have a conversation about it because, baby, let me tell you something. If somebody comes to you and be like, you know, that's how the fuck I am, I ain't having a
Yeah.
conversation about that, baby, trying to prioritize your well being. Okay.
That part.
It may be
Because
time to end that
yeah,
with no conflict.
absolutely.
Stop thinking because you want to end a friendship that it has to end because of conflict. Let's get
Absolutely.
out of that. Let's shake that
Yeah.
outdated thinking, y'all. Y'all know
Mhm.
I talk about that outdated
Yeah.
thinking. Ending a friendship does not have to end in
No,
conflict. It
it
does not have
doesn't.
to end in beef.
No, not at all. Some friendships you do outgrow, like you said, it's just out of alignment with where you are on your journey. It's
Yep.
not a bad thing. But again, conditioning of the mind teaches us that there are these certain things we have to follow by friendships. When somebody says, I don't care if we ain't talked in 20 years, 10 years, We get back on the phone and everything just clicks. Okay, that don't work for everybody.
Talk about it.
And maybe and I'm not saying, that's a bad thing. There are some people who have long-term friendships for a long time. Some people don't. You know what they call
Yeah.
them, day ones? Everybody don't have a day one. And I remember watching a video and the guy was like, "Oh, I don't trust people who don't have day ones." Well, sometimes your day ones is the problem.
Hey,
Because what they say, friends can also turn into enemies.
that
So
part.
at the end of the day, maybe, you get what I'm saying? Just and if you see certain behaviors with your friend, that friend been an enemy from day one. So let's really talk about day ones, because sometimes your day ones is your day one enemies.
Yep.
But
Your day
a
one.
lot of people don't want to be honest about that. Your
Yep.
day ones are
Yep.
your day one enemies. Pay attention. You
Pay
get what I'm saying?
attention. That
So
man,
yeah, gotta
what
talk
is
about that.
causing the damper there? What is causing whatever
Mhm.
fracture that could be going on?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And if you feel like that you can't do that because they your day one,
Yeah.
oh Lord, like
And I'm not that friend. Like I said, I've just learned so much about friendship and what that
yeah,
really looks like
I have
through a
too.
different lens. Like, I don't go by friendships by history. I don't measure friendships by history
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah, I
I
don't.
look I look more at what have we evolved?
Yeah,
What did the friendship do for both of us? Was there any growth? You know what I mean?
right.
For both of us, was there any healing if it needed to happen for both of us? Like, how did we best support each other or didn't? Like, I look at those deeper things now. I no longer go by face
And
value
we
of what a
supposed to though.
friendship is
Yeah,
supposed to be. I don't
we're
care if I know you for 50 years, baby. In
yeah.
50 years, if it been a bunch of bullshit, that friendship, is over. It's
Yep,
done. It's
absolutely.
done. And I'm not coming back to it. You get what I'm saying? Especially if I don't see nothing different with you. You know what I mean? But a lot of our friendships, they are built out of trauma.
Ooh,
That's why I say I don't do trauma bonding. I want to touch on that real quick. I
yeah,
don't
go
do
ahead.
trauma bonding
Yeah,
because if you can meet people out of trauma,
yeah.
but what's the healing look like?
Ooh,
Because when you trauma bond and you just want to talk about the trauma, this happened, that happened. Okay, well, can we get to the other side of this thing? You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? And so now it's like I realized a lot of my friendships were built out of trauma. They were built out of the stuff we were dealing with. So
yeah.
now you got to change that in the universe of the type
Mhm.
of people you want to attract. When I say I want to attract healthy, cultivating, healthy, healing friendships, I mean that.
Yeah,
I'm attracting that. Why? Because I'm possessing that same energy. You get what I'm saying? I'm doing the work on me to attract what I want. If I want to have these type of friendships, I have to be a healthy, cultivating friend. You get what I'm saying? I have to be a friend who's in her healing. And because I am, this is why I have attract different types of friends who are also on a healing journey.
come
You
on.
get what I'm saying? And this is
I
what I
do.
tell people. You want
It's
to
a fact.
attract something different? Look at you. You're the common denominator.
Ooh,
It's just like when I hear women saying, "Oh, I keep attracting the same type of man, the
girl,
same type of
I just
relation.
had a
I
conversation
keep
about that.
having the same type of relationships." It's just because you know what's happening? You have not done no energetic cord cutting. You have not dealt with yourself. You have not looked at yourself. You're not healing nothing with yourself. You're not working on you. So what happens is you attract the same thing. Only thing that happens is,
Oh,
you know what happens? Just the faces change,
mm.
but you still got the same energy coming in and out because you ain't checked your energy. You ain't doing the work you're supposed to do to cut
Come on,
that off. You got to
come on,
cut it.
lady.
You got to cut it at the root. You got to cut it at the cord, or you're going to keep constantly attracting the same negative toxic energy that you claim you don't want. But you think you want something. It's just like love. When people say, "Oh, I want love. Oh, I want an honest friend." I don't want to go to the relationship side of it. So let me stick to the friendship side because I know I could go there. But
Girl,
on the friendship side, when you say, "I want an honest friend, I want a friend who's going to keep it real, I want a friend to tell me the truth, I don't care how
a lot of y'all
uncomfortable it
be acting
is."
like that.
So a lot of people do that. But soon as your friend pulls up on you and tells you some straight truth,
Hey, you
what
thought
happens?
about it.
The friendship is over.
That bitch said this.
And
She
this,
told me this.
yes,
She said this, and this is what I can't believe. Who she
absolutely.
think she better than? No, she trying to better
Yeah.
you.
You can't handle it.
She trying to better you, he trying
Yeah,
to better you, and you can't
can't handle it.
everybody
Can't
talk
handle
about
it.
keeping it real, they want somebody around them
Yep.
to keep it real, and 95% of y'all can't handle real.
No, not at all. You can't. And that's why when you be like, I started challenging my friends and I started saying to them, what type of friend do you need?
Yeah.
What type of friend do you feel you need? And when they would go to that, oh, I want a friend that's honest and keep it real with me. And I love your truth. I love how you tell me the truth. Soon as I pull up on them, what happens? Everybody in their feelings, you mad, you don't want to talk to me.
And
Now
you
you just
answering calls, you
so
answering texts.
at the end of the day, I'm like, really examine what you want. And what you really want has to be in you as well. And if you're not being it, don't ask for it. Don't look for it because you need to be it first. You get what I'm saying? And you need to be it to yourself first. Let me be clear on that because we do all this outside stuff. Let's rewind it back.
Yeah.
Be your own friend first. Be your own best friend first. Get to know everything about you. Connect to you because you are going to be the person, the other party in your friendships.
Yeah.
So, how are you pulling up? How are you showing up? What kind of friend are you being? You get what I'm saying? That's important, and we got to stop overlooking that. And I'm the friend, I tell people, I'm the friend that will tell you sometimes fuck your feelings. It ain't about your feelings.
Okay.
It's about
Me,
it's about me seeing you better. But do you want to be better?
you
Because
know,
even though I want it for you, even though I see these things in you, do you want it? Do you see it? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not friend. If telling you the truth is going to ruin the friendship, I will walk away from the friendship, but I will have peace because I know I told you something that one day it's
yes,
going to come back to you and you're going to be like, she told me that.
yeah,
She said that to me. Even with my strange friendship now, she tells me, she's like, there's so many things you used to say to me. And she said, a lot of those things helped me in my time of need. She said, there's so many things you used to tell me, but I see it now. I didn't see it then, but now I understand what you meant. I take that to the heart with ease because sometimes you never know the effect or the impact you really leave on somebody's heart. You never know what you're leaving on somebody's heart and on their mind of you. You get what I'm saying? And she even said that to me. She said, I don't think you know the impact in its totality that you have on people. She said, because girl, you be saying some stuff and that shit will still be in that head 10 years later.
absolutely. Hey, that mean the impact is there.
That part.
The
But
impact
we gotta be
there.
like, I'm not sugarcoating nothing. Like
No.
I be like, listen, you come around me, oh, baby, I'm gonna tell you some truth. And if you don't want to hear it, it's cool. I get it. Maybe not right now. But if I feel led to tell you the truth, I will. And I know some people walk on eggshells, like, well, well, maybe. But if
Right.
I feel led to tell you something, I'm gonna tell it to you. Whether you receive it or not, I'm still going to do what I feel led to do.
Right.
And that's being obedient to your own self. You get what I'm saying?
So
And but again, we got to really
I
look at
gotta lean back on that one, baby.
how do people hit you like what really examine what you want when you talk about friendship. And I'm not saying that there aren't some friendships that you cannot rekindle because they can. Maybe y'all had to go on a separate journey. Maybe you had to separate for a certain time period. And then you might be able to come back together. But then there are some friendships where no,
Nope.
we're never coming back together. You went your way, I went mine. We never speak again.
And you
That's
gotta be
okay.
okay with that, people.
And you
gotta
can
be okay.
grieve. It's okay to grieve friendships.
Ooh, that
When we
part.
talk about death, I talk about this. Death is not just a physical thing. It could be the death of a friendship, a relationship. It could be anything. It's okay to grieve it.
Yeah.
And once you grieve it, you have to move on from there.
We
You
just
gotta let it go.
we just did a luncheon in March, renewing our resilience, managing life after loss. And that was the topic, loss. Because when we talk about loss, the first thing people hear talk about is death. But we don't talk about the loss of friendships, the loss of
Mhm.
confidence,
Yeah,
finances, jobs,
all of
relationships,
that.
like all of that. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So you do have to grieve. And that's
Yes.
the topics that we talked about. I talked about how I didn't grieve, but I also
Mhm.
talked about how I had to grieve the friendships that I was no longer aligned with daily. I had to
Mhm.
grieve that. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? So, like with friendship, when it comes to that, y'all, and we're gonna wind up here, but I'm gonna tell you this. When it comes to friendships, you really have to sit back and reflect on if that friendship is positive or negative to your mental well-being. Because I'm getting up there in age. Hey, I'm blessed to be able to say I'm about to be 48 years old, but I tell you what, I'm not about to stress out about no friendships because there's so many things that's taking people out. People are dying from strokes, stress, heart attacks,
Mhm.
simply because that they are allowing themselves to stay in toxic situations, toxic friendships, toxic relationships, toxic family, this, that, the other. Hey, listen, I don't care who it is. Okay.
Mhm.
I don't care who it is. You owe yourself the reflective to say, is this relationship benefiting me? Is this relationship hurting me mentally, physically, whatever else? And when it comes to friendships, stop saying that no new friends, right? Because guess what? When you land across that bed, wonder why you have not gotten to where you want to be in life, you better first off think about your environment. Think
Mhm.
about your environment, because if your environment is nothing but negativity and stuck people, baby, that's you too. You are a product of your environment. You are a reflection of that. So if you're sitting around people that have no desire to make changes, I had to realize as an entrepreneur, I need to be around other entrepreneurs. I do. In order for me to continue to thrive, I can't be around a bunch of corporate America people because they don't understand me. Not saying that I can't have that friendship, but I need to be around like-minded, and that involves your personal growth journey as well. You need to be around like-minded, and if your friends are not that, baby, you better start reflecting on that. Take a step back, recognize what part that you need to work on, extend that conversation and say, hey, we need to talk about this. This is what I'm trying to do. This is where I'm trying to go. Are you trying to go with me? What does that look like for you? Let's have that conversation, because that's what real friends gonna do. Real friends gonna try to take you with them, but they got to see that you want to put the effort in too. Because I ain't taking those stuck people with me. Okay.
Absolutely.
I ain't taking those
Absolutely.
stuck people with me.
I'm
Girl.
right. I'm right there with you.
Yeah,
It's really being true to yourself and
absolutely.
being honest with yourself. And it's okay. It's an agree to disagree. I feel like when people are in that same light as you, they can understand and relate to you. But
Mhm.
those who don't understand, sometimes it's because they don't want to,
They
and
don't.
sometimes it's just because they're not there yet. They're not on that same, frequency as you are.
Yeah.
So you got to make sure that everything is in alignment. Make sure your friendships, your relationships are in alignment with who you are and where you are on your journey in your life. That's important. And we got to stop overlooking that, because that's why you be mix matching and linking up and hooking up with the wrong people. And then when you fall out, y'all, what do y'all do? Turn to this doggone good internet, and
Hey.
you
Woo.
put in all your business on it, and it's sad because 2024 we still doing it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Just because you go through something outside of social media doesn't mean you need to bring it to social
To
media.
social media.
You ain't got to come to social media dragging each other over things you didn't do when you were friends. You get what I'm saying? Oh, the friendship's over, and then both of you now y'all sitting over here doing all these interviews talking about each other.
Yep.
That's a problem in itself.
Mm-hmm.
Learn
Girl.
how to just say, you know what, it is what it is. Handle that in the background and keep it pushing. Leave all that other stuff alone. But
Yeah.
like I always say, some people don't realize they caught up in the matrix. So that's just the
Hey.
matrix is just controlling you every single day.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Ooh, y'all know we really could dive into this conversation for so much more time, but I'm not going to do that to y'all, you know. Now, there might be a part 2 because I feel like that there needs to be
Mm.
another level of discussion when it comes to this because a lot of people are going to be like, "Oh, you know, my friends ain't that. My friends that listen, if you got people that been rocking with you and you're able to do everything that we talked about as far as having open communication, as far as not being in your feelings, hey, cherish that. Okay.
Mhm.
I'm not saying that it doesn't exist, but what I am saying is people be accountable for your friends and be accountable for leaving their asses in the dust if they're no longer aligned with where you're trying to go on your spiritual journey, on your emotional journey, on your financial journey, whatever journey it is that you're going on. If they are not supposed to go, stop trying to force them to go. Okay. Stop trying to force them. Ooh, lady child. Please let them know where they can find you at.
You can find Lady on pretty much all the social media platforms. All my social media are definitely in the link in the bio. You can
And
connect to me.
listen, if y'all have feedback on this episode, we want to hear about it. Definitely comment under the YouTube channel, under the YouTube video, because after you watch this, you definitely, I'm pretty sure, gonna have some feedback. But if you're listening on any podcast streaming platforms, go ahead and leave a comment. But also you can send me the email because it is a conversation that we might continue based off of your feedback. Okay. Empowering Real Talk is all about us bringing the conversations that are necessary. All right. So we appreciate y'all so much for tuning in. Make sure you favorite the podcast on your streaming platform. But if you're listening on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the Upgraded Mindsets channel, y'all, because you know there are several podcasts streaming here right now with the goal to bring more, all about growth, development, empowerment, encouragement, entrepreneurship. A upgraded mindsets is bringing all that to the channel. So, lady, you know it's always a pleasure with us, sis. You
Yes,
know we always
absolutely.
vibe. I appreciate
Hmm.
you bringing the insight and bringing that empowering real talk that I know you do. Y'all stay tuned. So we definitely got some things in the works. So I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure again y'all are subscribed. Stay dope, stay focused, stay motivated within yourself. Stay empowered, baby.